I muted myself. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Making Law Simple. My name is David Helm. I am a licensed practicing attorney in the state of Michigan, and with me is the layman Baker. Welcome, Baker.
I'm not a layman baker. I'm a professional baker and a legal layman.
A legal layman, yes. And it is getting hot in my treehouse, so I need to take off my rain jacket. And
You say it's getting hot in there.
So I'm taking off all my clothes.
Yeah.
Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome. Glad most of you were able to carry over from the Jody area stream into this wonderful stream. I got to hide my chat and manage my stuff going on here. Appreciate a like and subscribe. And I am I'm covering some stuff today that Baker and Jamie have pretty much covered already, but I want to do it in a little bit of a different format. Mm-hmm. Because I've been looking at this case for a little bit, and I find it odd. I find it interesting, and I find it a little concerning as a fellow YouTuber. And if you guys don't know who Turtleboy is, I didn't either until Wednesday. But he is apparently a YouTuber and a blogger. More importantly, an award-winning blogger. But has a YouTube channel as well. And he's been covering the Karen Reed case. And if you're not familiar with that case, out of what?
Thank you, Baker.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
you're welcome.
Okay, private chats. Anyways, Karen Reed is I guess she's an ex-girlfriend now of a police officer that has died. And she is being accused. She's being charged with second-degree murder, leaving the scene of an accident, drunk driving, all kinds of stuff like that. Well, some people, including the defense, have said that she is being framed because her police officer boyfriend who was killed happened to be at a police officer house, and a lot of things don't make sense. And some of the police officers involved that are witnesses might have been a little too involved, might have planted some evidence. Things just seem a little weird. And it's not just like random conspiracy theorists out there. There's a whole host of people that are saying that. And apparently Turtleboy is one of them. And he has his YouTube channel. And he's not scared of saying the things that he does. Mm-hmm. And the question came up on Laid Back News the other day is he actually a member of the press? Like, does he get First Amendment rights? And the answer is emphatically yes. He has First Amendment rights in this case. And the question is if we're going to impede upon, first of all, what are First Amendment rights? What is your right to freedom of speech? What is your right to be, broadcaster and communicate out there to the masses? And unless it violates some rule that the court has upheld, basically you can do anything. Now, what he's being charged with is intimidating a witness. Actually, intimidating several witnesses. It's 8 or 9 counts of intimidating a witness. And there's a count of conspiracy, too. It sounds like his co-conspirator is unindicted and unnamed, but conspiring with somebody in order to intimidate witnesses. I don't know where the Supreme Court falls on that, but we kind of generally think it's a good idea to maybe not threaten a witness into not testifying, right? Or say, hey, I'll give you a bunch of money if you say this instead of that. We generally accept that that's a good thing. The question is did this gentleman, Turtleboy, as a YouTuber and blogger, did he effectively intimidate witnesses to the point where he could now spend 21 years in prison and a fine of not more than $5,000? I kind of would rather take the fine myself. Mm-hmm. To my understanding, he doesn't have any priors. If he had priors, then it would be a $10,000 fine and 20 years in jail as opposed to 21 years in prison, which is kind of weird. I don't know. Anyways, but that's where we're at. So what I wanted to do, and Baker's already covered this, but I wanted to walk through, this is his arraignment from Wednesday. And as we walk through, the prosecutor makes specific mentions of specific posts. And I kind of want to, all right, he says this is what's happening. Let's go take a look at it. And that's kind of the hope for this. I wasn't able to edit this video as much as I wanted to, so it's going to be a little clumsy, but we're going to take a look. Anyways, Baker, Jamie, did you guys have anything you wanted to add before we get going? Because I know you guys have already covered this.
No, I'm glad you're covering it again because I would like to break it down. I mean, we just went through it, but to like break it down, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I like to.
No, go ahead.
I like the idea about seeing the witnesses, the video specifically mentioned, because people in the chat, there was a lot of people jumping in who's familiar with Turtleboy, and they said it was BS.
Yeah. And it kind of looks that way from some of them. But we don't have, some of the stuff is not in the stream either. Some of it is Facebook posts and stuff. And I've grabbed as much as I could to kind of take a look at what he's actually being accused of.
Oh, so, and you might, for new people here, want to mention that the day before they tried to get a restraining order against him, which was struck down by another judge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they charged him with, I believe it was 6 counts of witness intimidation and jury tampering and conspiracy.
I heard in the recording 6 counts. And then I read in the news report that it was 8 or 9 counts. And then I saw on the now defendant Turtleboy's own post that it was 8 counts. And so I'm not sure, but it's several counts of this. There's also another count, which I don't think we're going to get to today because we really only kind of have an hour and then I've got to run. But of picketing a court. And I have a lot of constitutional issues with the idea of it's unlawful to picket outside of a court. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get it. We're not going to be able to get into that today, but I'm going to probably do quite a few of these streams.
This is fun.
On this
particular
issue.
This topic has been very interesting to me lately. So.
Yeah. So I'm going to play this for a bit. And then if I'm playing it at 1.25 and if it's too quiet or not too quiet, if it's too fast, let me know.
Okay, Mr. Reynolds, will you stand up for today?
Yes,
for the Commonwealth.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Kenneth Mello, Special Prosecutor for the Commonwealth. With me is Attorney Robert Novak, also Special Prosecutor of the office.
All right, good afternoon, both of you. Good afternoon, Mr. Reynolds. Mr. Mello, do you have any requests for the court?
I do, Your Honor. I have a number of requests for conditions of release. Where the Commonwealth is requesting cash bail in the amount of $1,000.
Okay, so by the way, too, this is an arraignment. So at an arraignment, the defendant is informed of the charges against him, the nature of the charges, the maximum penalty. He has an opportunity to ask for a court-appointed attorney if he cannot afford one or retained one. It sounds like he's retained one. But then bond is set, right? So the idea is that you haven't been convicted, so we're going to let you out, but we're going to put you under some restrictions. And so what they're addressing right now is bond. In order to address bond, he wants to go through everything, which is okay. But it gives us something to talk about.
GPS monitoring. Stay away from all witnesses 100 yards. And that would be with the exception of court appearances that the defendant is required to attend if other witnesses are present. We're asking for a 100-yard stay away from witnesses' homes, businesses, places of employment, and schools. We're asking for no contact with witnesses by phone, text, email, or otherwise, either directly or indirectly. We're asking that the defendant, through his blog, internet use, not.
Why do they say it that way?
Order to not encourage any of his blog followers.
The only reason Jamie is interested in this is because it is where it is.
May be aware this defendant has a blog with a rather large following, and that will get to the root of the case itself. But it appears that in the past,
that's the Zoom calls.
Yeah, the Zoom calls keep chiming in. He keeps pausing for it. It's awesome.
Well, these people don't know how to mute themselves.
Appears in the past he's encouraged his followers to take various actions with respect to witnesses in this matter. We're asking that there be no harassment of witnesses or their families, no intimidation of witnesses.
I love it. By the way, I do Zoom court all the time, and I love it when we're just sitting there or waiting, and someone else logs in, and it doesn't matter who's talking or what's going on. The person who just logged in is like, "Hi, I'm here." It's like, oh my God, you're in court. Would you walk into a courtroom, be like, "I'm here"? Just sit quietly, people.
Or their family members. We're asking that he not on his blogs or otherwise encourage his blog followers to photograph witnesses, their families, their homes, etc. As Your Honor will hear from the evidence presented by the Commonwealth's argument, the defendant has shown up at sports games attended or that were being engaged in by children of witnesses and has made scenes there.
Okay, so this is the first one I want to talk about. And I have, oh my God, I hate doing this. So I did all the prep work on my laptop and I was supposed to save. Okay, I'll just talk about it. So I went through his YouTube, not his YouTube. I went through his Facebook and his Twitter. And I was looking for the things that they're talking about. There's a picture posted of some witness at a sporting event, kind of like they were in the background of a selfie that someone else took and posted, and then he just simply enlarged. So I don't know if he was actually there. So that's the first thing that I want to point out. I'm sorry I didn't grab it, but you can follow him on Facebook and grab it. These screenshots are horrible. But I do have the other ones that I want to talk about. But that was the first thing that I noticed is, let me see if I can just pull it up real quick, because that's it, right? He's not like there, and it clearly states, oh my God, I gotta log back in. Okay, let me find Turtleboy. But it clearly shows in the picture, like, hey, look at this person in the background of a selfie, hiding their face. Only innocent people really hide their face. That's essentially what he posted out there. Let's see if I could find it again real quick. See how prepared I am for this. I mean, he does have a lot of posts about the witnesses, or that are in here, but also understand too that these witnesses are public employees. They are public agents. They're not, or spouses of that were at a party with a bunch of cops. They're not necessarily just your random citizen. I'll come back to it. I'll keep playing it.
Using loudspeakers, etc. We're asking that he be precluded or prohibited from attending those sports games, school or otherwise, to harass witnesses.
Okay, here it is. I got it. All right, so let me pull this up. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Okay, so this is the post. Canton cover up part 151. Brian, Nicole, Cataline. I don't know. I'm not going to say these stupid names.
Caitlin.
Yeah, hiding their faces.
Bring on the dyslexic Dane to
read out my English words.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Hiding their faces at a Bridgewater football game in order to avoid being seen in selfie background. Selfie background. So this is a selfie that he zoomed in on. Maybe it was him. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But this is like a selfie background. Yesterday, we published a blog about Brian and Nicole being seen at their football game. Like shortly afterwards, another Turtle Rider posted an image of the Justice for John O'Keefe and Karen Reed official Facebook group showing Brian and Nicole. So another person, not him. Okay, so presumably this person, right, is taking a picture at a football game, a selfie, and these people are here hiding their faces in the background. That's what's going on. It's not this particular defendant that's posting these.
But
it's someone else. What's that?
I'm just saying that's weird that they. But again, it's the state. They can make everything look bad. And you got a membership and you got a super chat. Just
Oh, look at that. 87 Swedish crowns. Nice. Here's the 87 monies. Yes, thank you. We are even now. Thank you very much, Farrell. And I did see the Dirk one gifted membership. I don't know who received the membership because I don't have
Peach Peony.
Peace.
Peace Pony.
I read it.
Are so
I read it as it's written.
Adorable. Oh my God.
It's peony.
I thought you were going to say
peony.
I thought you were going to say I read it as Dave would have. But
No, because you would have said Pete's Pony or something like that.
Yeah, I would have. Thank you very much for the gifted membership. Thank you very much for the 87 Swedish krona. Okay, but so this is, remember what he said was he's attending football games, sporting events, and taking pictures. This is literally somebody else posting this stuff, and he's literally just zooming in on it and posting it on his blog. All right, so let's go back. Oh, why do I still have Minecraft up?
We're at games.
I did.
So I'm going to listen to this
We're
again.
asking that he, not on his blogs or otherwise, encourage his blog followers to photograph witnesses, their families, their homes, etc. As Your Honor will hear from the evidence presented by the Commonwealth's argument, the defendant has shown up at sports games attended or that were being engaged in by children of witnesses and has made scenes there using loudspeakers, etc. We're asking that he
I don't see any loudspeakers.
Those sports games, school or otherwise, to harass witnesses.
I didn't find any videos or images or even blog posts about him at a sporting event with a loudspeaker. Now, again, I'm doing a cursory look. I haven't obviously gone through everything. I'm just telling you right now, as of now, I haven't found anything with that.
There'll be no mentioning by names or other forms of identification of the witnesses on his blogs, Twitter, YouTube, etc. When I say witnesses, I'm also talking about the victims in this case, Your Honor. The victims in this case all being witnesses in another matter that the Commonwealth will address.
We've talked about it straight.
Certainly, this would not preclude the defendant from talking about other cases, but not with
I
respect
should use my real name,
to the witnesses and their family
and
members, etc.
alone the lettering in it would make half the chat convulse in pain.
Well, your last name, I'm sure, but your first name, I feel like I could get.
Yeah, it's your first name is easy.
Yeah.
Well, now that I know. How to say it.
Knowing is half the battle, Jamie.
Harassing, intimidating that witness. That he not contact witnesses, family members, schools, sports teams, coaches, etc. He has done that in the past, Your Honor. That he not photograph or video witnesses at home or work, and that also goes to taping, Judge. And he not contact place of work of the witnesses or victims.
Okay, so he was he had a loudspeaker and filming himself outside the courthouse, but that's the only loudspeaker that I've seen of anything. So I will say that outside the courthouse, that might be the whole picketing thing, right?
Large number of facts I would like to make the court aware of. I apologize for the time. I think there are 9 complaints before Your Honor. Some of these facts apply to all. If I could just read that section to the court once or recite those facts and then deal with them individually. Thank you, Judge.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Of January,
and for some reason, they go into the whole Karen Reed thing.
gentleman by the name of John O'Keefe was found
We can skip this.
the night of January 28th, 2022.
Yeah, they like.
And that's again just to taint the judge. Let's mention the Karen Reed, which has nothing to do with this.
Well, I mean, only to the extent that there's a criminal case going on and there's witnesses, and this guy's contacting the witnesses in that case, right?
Yeah,
That's all you need
and he
to
can say in the Karen Reed case, boom.
Operating under the influence of alcohol and leaving the scene of a motor vehicle crash causing death. The indictment alleges that Karen Reed struck O'Keefe with a motor vehicle and left the scene. And the case is currently pending in Norfolk Superior Court as docket number 2282 CR 117. The lead investigator.
Freaking Zoom. I'm here. Has it started yet?
Described as Trooper Michael
Every
Proctor,
time I'm in court.
assigned to the Norfolk State Police Detective Unit. Trooper Proctor testified before the grand jury and continues to conduct investigative work on the case. Michael Proctor is married to Elizabeth Proctor. Elizabeth is not a witness to the investigation, but a family member, as mentioned in Chapter 268, Section 13B of the General Laws. During the investigation into O'Keefe's death, witnesses were identified, interviewed, and testified before the grand jury. These civilian witnesses were present with O'Keefe and Karen Reed in the hours leading up to O'Keefe's death and his discovery on January 29th, 2022. The witnesses include the following: Matthew McCabe, who was interviewed by investigators.
We don't need to.
Testified
I'm trying to get to the
2B,
where he talks
Gordon
about
was with
the.
O'Keefe and Reed at the Waterfall Restaurant. Julie was with O'Keefe and Reed at the Waterfall Restaurant before O'Keefe's death, and she testified at the grand jury. Chris Albert, husband of Julie, was first interviewed by investigators on February 10th, 2022. Chris was with O'Keefe and Juliana Neighbor.
Yeah, I think they're just,
They're just listening to witnesses.
yeah, because Chris and Julia was in that video that we,
Motion for order pursuant to
Yeah.
Mass Rule of Criminal Procedure 17, directed to Brian Albert, Verizon, and AT&T. Alleged police misconduct of the name of Turtleboy. The social media accounts include TV Daily News, X, formerly Twitter.
X, formerly Twitter.
32,800
Is it
followers.
officially X now?
7,000
Yeah,
followers.
it's officially X.
Turtleboy Live
So
on YouTube,
I don't know if
41,000
we
subscribers.
is
He
it
refers to his
when we
followers
tweet
as
it
Turtle Riders.
or what we're going to say.
How do you pronounce
The defendant,
communication
on
via
many
X these
sites,
days?
Websites or blogs, if you will, has a pay section. It's been beginning in April of 2023. Kearney began posting articles to his website.
There we go. This is what it was.
Social media accounts where he adopts the defense allegations as true and makes personal attacks on civilian witnesses and members of their families and their friends. Kearney authors and publishes a blog on the website tvdailynews.com. The website has a series of articles entitled Canton Cover-Up. As of September 28, 2023, at least 164 articles. have been
No.
posted to the website in this category.
No, this is all I did was boost the original audio. That's all I did. This is not VLhammer. I would not put that on him and say this is his.
Regarding Karen Reed, and there have been additional articles since that date. Kearney posts weekly videos to YouTube where he has discussed Karen Reed and made statements regarding witnesses. Below are a small selection of the verbal statements made by Kearney in these videos that have been published to followers and are publicly available for viewing without being a subscriber or follower. and
Yep,
have been
I got
archived
'em.
by investigators. Episode 594.
This is
Turtleboy returns to Canton. This is a video posted shortly after Kearney visited homes of witnesses. This is not my last trip to Canton. I will be back. I'll be back. Get used to this. These people think, pardon me, these people think I'm fucking around. You haven't seen the last of me. Get used to it. Get used to it at the 119 mark.
okay. So what he says, these people think I'm effing around, blah, 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 blah. Get used to it. Get used to it. Okay. So I will share now the video. This is 594. Now I've started this a few minutes earlier than the timestamp that the prosecutor was just talking about because it gives you a little bit more context, right? Obviously, there's no context in what the prosecutor said. So let's take a listen to see what Turtleboy actually said.
So I'm like, I want to talk to his boss. I'm like, because Michael Proctor never spoke with Michael Trotta, never spoke with Walsh, never spoke with him. And so I'm like, are they there? And I got this lady. My name's Abe.
That is an employee's assistant.
Oh.
You'd like to
Oh, how do we get in that way? Okay. You guys are going to this.
This counter? Can I help you?
Yes. Is this the Department of Public Works?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Is Michael Trotta in?
He's on vacation right now.
Okay.
You want-
My name's Aiden Carney from Turtleboy Daily News. And I was also looking for Mr. Walsh. Is he around by any chance, the superintendent?
I can give you a message.
Is he here?
He's out in the Field.
She did not want to work.
I've
been trying to reach him, so.
Did you leave him a message?
Yes, and he hasn't called back, so.
Okay, well, he's
Can
kind of
I,
busy.
can I leave another? It's like, he's kind of busy. Oh, yeah, you work for Ken. It's like, this is why I hate government employees and government workers. They're just so lazy. Like, nobody wants to fucking work. Because what do they paid no matter what? They're like, well, kind of busy.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Does he have a fucking cell phone?
I like him.
Call him.
I like him, so I like his.
Damn work.
Mind you, I did watch like all of this video. He's been trying to get a hold of these people to ask them questions for a while, and they keep dodging him.
How about that? But she knows who I am. Like, it's very, it was
Really?
very clear that she knows who I am, and she doesn't want to help me out. So I'll play your game.
Yeah, once upon a time, mainstream media journalists were like this
You have
too.
his phone number, right?
Like, oh, wait.
I can leave the message. So, yep. I can leave a message and I'll get it to him.
Now watch
Like I said,
this.
He's up in the field right now.
Watch this.
How do I spell the last name, sir?
Kearney. She goes, how do I spell the last name, sir? She had already written out my first name and spelt it correctly. She knows who I am. She didn't have to ask my first name. She didn't even have to ask what my last name was. She just asked how to spell it. She had already spelled my name. So she knows who I am at this point. People are messaging me now and they're saying that she is a friend. She lives in Tim Albert's neighborhood and she is best friends with the Weeks girls. That is McCabe's sisters. So this is what we're dealing with here. This is the home cooking.
I will say I don't know the whole story, other than the allegations are that the witnesses are a little more closely tied to each other than they state in their written statements. That's essentially the allegations.
Yeah. Do you see what his shirt? Do you see the shirt he's wearing?
Let's see how. Oh yeah, that was the Google search
It's the
that the then wife of the potential other suspect Googled that night. How long does it take to die in cold? Right?
Was the sister-in-law? Yeah.
Or the sister-in-law? Yeah. So
Oh,
there's a
I'll
lot
be
of
back,
weird stuff
Miss
that deserves some questions and some
Miss Boy's
answers.
regular. I'll be back. You haven't seen the last of me because he never called. Walshy never called me today. Trotta never called me. If you think you're going to get rid of me that easily, you're badly mistaken. I will literally sit there all day. All day. We'll order Chinese. I'll make a day of it. I'll just sit there all freaking day because he's got to come back sometime. I'll be like, I've unfinished business. We didn't see Michael Morrissey today. I'll be back. Like, get used to this. Like, these people think I'm fucking around. Like, I'm Mr. Internet guy. Like, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to write blogs all day. And it's okay. It's just writing blogs and just ignore them, whatever. No. I live an hour away. It's not, I got a Lexus now. It's not a problem. It's got great mileage and a good engine. I'll be there in an hour. No problem. Like, I'll get used to it. Get used to it.
Okay. So does that sound a little different than, I just backed this up too, than what we just heard the prosecutor say?
The purpose statements made by Karen in these videos that have been published to followers and are publicly available for viewing without being a subscriber or follower and have been archived by investigators. Episode 594, Turtleboy returns to Canton. This is a video posted shortly after Karen visited homes of witnesses. This is not my last trip to Canton. I will be back. I'll be back. Get used to this. These people think I'm fucking around. You haven't seen the last of me. Get used to it. Get used to it at the 119 mark.
No.
Does that sound the same?
When you see it in the whole context, it's not anything that they're making it out to be.
Yeah, that was my thought.
Can I ask you a question
membership.
because I don't know the law?
Yeah.
Couldn't his attorney have played the same snippet which clearly in context shows he said, "I'll be back to ask questions." There's no threat at all in any of that. The judge should have let him go and said, "This is BS."
Well, this isn't the time and place to have a case dismissed. So this is just the arraignment. This is
but he's still
Andrew, you're being charged with this, and this prosecutor is doing it as he's doing it a little bit as a public service announcement kind of thing. And if the defense counsel was worried about public service announcements, the defense probably could have addressed it, but it's really just a bond hearing.
Yeah, but my problem is he got a bond now for completely made up stuff.
Yeah.
That a judge should have ruled, no, I'm not going to set a bond. I'm not put a gag order on this man because he didn't do anything wrong. You took everything out of context. You, sir, is a fool. You go back. I'm going to dock your week's pay. Say sorry to the taxpayers.
Yeah, I mean, there could have been a motion to do that. I mean, you could do an oral motion to dismiss generally. I don't know how the court rules work. Like if you're going to do a motion to dismiss, the courts generally say, okay, but first let's have an opportunity to conduct discovery, because while you're saying this doesn't rise to the level, and let's assume everything that this prosecutor just said doesn't rise to the level of intimidating a witness, we don't know what else the prosecutor has. So let's give the prosecutor time to give you all of their evidence, and then you can bring your motion. So that's probably what I would expect from a Michigan court anyways.
Yeah, and again, they got what they wanted. They got the gag order.
Well, he can still, he doesn't have a gag order. He just can't contact them. He can still talk about the case.
And he doesn't have a restraining order, but he just can't talk to them.
Right.
So, and by that amazing question by one of the greatest legal minds ever on YouTube, I'll be jumping off and watching a real football team play some football.
They have American football in Denmark now. That's awesome. You're watching the Lions versus the Bears.
Jamie, the hatred I have been met with today on the internet. I'm not coming back again.
I'll see you later.
Enjoy your game with your sports balls.
I'll see
Bye,
you later.
Baker.
Thank you for having me on. See you all later. Bye.
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 EC, I'm not saying it's made up. I'm saying it's taken out of context.
Yes.
So we literally just watched the words out of Turtleboy's mouth on his stream just after the prosecutor read those words. First of all, the prosecutor skipped a few lines. He also didn't put it in a context, such as he's trying to get in contact with an individual who's not returning his calls. So he goes to the office and leaves his name and saying, yeah, I'll be back. Call me. I'm an hour away. Call me. And, those sort of things. So what I'm trying to do here is listen to the actual words in the context. So I will criticize this prosecutor because he absolutely just cherry-picked words. But let's move on to the next segment.
Episode 598.
598.
Karen Reed defense files motion to recuse. This guy, being Chris Albert, had his head on the swivel looking for turtle riders. I got bad news for you, Chris. I got really bad news for you. They are literally everywhere. You guys should just stop going out in public. It's only going to get worse from here. I know where you all were today. You were in Agawam, weren't you? You guys were at some sort of Little League thing in Agawam. Albert's, McCabe's, all you people were there. Just know that there will be no life as normal is over. Life is normal. You had normal for a while there, from January 29th to about April 2023. You guys literally got away with murder. Takes out of the 8-minute mark.
Okay. So that was okay. So that was episode 598. Let me pull up 598 here real quick. Jody area stream took me out. I had to close down all my windows because I was having issues. So now I got to go back. So 598. Here we go. All right. Now let's take a listen to, again, the words from the actual stream. And what was the timestamp you said? 598. That was, 8-minute mark. And then I wrote down the 24-minute mark. So here's the 8-minute mark. This is what we're looking at.
She goes to the waterfall bar today. I don't know if she's from Canton or what.
Oh, he's talking about somebody else.
I'm going to bring this up for you guys.
Some viewer of his or
You
something.
haven't seen this yet. So there, she
Or
posts this and she says, this is Chris Albert, right? We are at the waterfall. And there he is in the middle of the, afternoon at the bar. I don't know if he drove there or not because I don't know if he lost his license when people forget about Chris Albert. I mean, look at that face, by the way. Look at that face. That is the face of a man who he knows he's being photographed. He's pissed. He's not happy about it. Like, I confronted this guy a couple weeks ago. This guy's got his head on a swivel everywhere now. He's like, turtle riders, where are they? I got bad news for you, Chris. I got really bad news for you. They're literally everywhere. You can't, you guys should just stop going out in public. That'd be my recommendation. And it's only going to get worse from here. I did not direct this person to do this. I can't stop them. They're everywhere. They don't like you. Nobody likes you. You guys killed someone. You literally killed someone. Not you. You didn't do it. You raised someone who did it. And, your big bro did it. But and you obviously know this and you're helping to cover it up. But I guess you didn't kill anyone. So you got that going for you. So good job, Chris. You just raised the killer. Anyway.
Okay. So someone else takes a picture of a witness and posts it on Facebook. And he grabs it. It's Facebook there. You can see the little F. And he grabs it and he's talking about it. He's like, hey, these people are out there. They're taking pictures of you. Maybe you don't want to go in public. I mean, it's a fair statement, right? People are watching you. He even puts in a disclaimer, I didn't ask her to take this picture of you. I'm just sharing it out there with the world. He can make all the accusations he wants. That's the beauty of free speech. It's not illegal to be an asshole in this country. So the question is he intimidating a witness by doing this very thing, right? So again, if you listen to the prosecutor's statement, it's as if he posted this picture. And if he's making threats to the witnesses saying, don't go out in public, your life is ruined, you better not go out in public. He's being condescending. He's saying, hey, people are taking pictures of you out there, guys. Nobody likes you guys. It's not a threat, of any sort. It's, I don't know, Jamie, what are your thoughts?
That's exactly it. Because when you hear the prosecutor talk about it, I was imagining him actually like he's the one that did it and he's the one threatening this guy.
Yeah.
But when you watch him actually present it, it's totally the opposite. So
Yeah. So let's go back. And if I had the time to edit this, it would have been really good. But we're going to go back and we're going to watch his words again, the prosecutor's words again, as to what supposedly Turtleboy did.
Yeah.
It's over. Life is normal. You had normal for a while there, from January 29th to about April 2023. You guys literally got away
Oh,
with
hang on.
murder.
Sorry, let me back
That
up.
there would be no, you were in Agawam, weren't you? You guys were at some sort of Little League thing in Agawam. Alberts, McCabe's, all you people were there. Just know that there will be no life as normal is over. Life is normal. You had normal for a while there, from January 29th to about April 2020.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I didn't play the whole thing.
oh
let me
yeah,
back
he
up.
did 28.
He does do that. Yeah, hang on a second.
Right. And we're gonna get to that too. But he's obviously, when I saw him, like, this dude is ready and like looking around. They insist on going out in public. Like, Chris, I know where you guys were today. Y'all were in Agawam, weren't you? I got pictures of you on my cell phone. I got people sending me pictures. You guys were at some sort of Little League thing in Agawam. I got pictures of Courtney Proctor. I got pictures of, who was she with there? I forget. There's a whole crew here. Alberts, McCabe's, all you people were there. So like, just know that there will be no, life is normal is over. Okay. Life is normal. You had normal for a while there, from January 29th till about April, date of 29th, 2022 till April of 2023. You guys literally got away with murder. Okay. You were being called out in court documents, in court, by David Yannetti, Alan Jackson, and crew. And it just wasn't getting attention for some reason, like, which is wild because the story is freaking sensational. It's been there under my nose the whole time, and I didn't even know about it. And it turns out like the story of the century. And so now you just can't leave. I mean, you should leave, but you can't, because that's D&E Pizza's Day. You're stuck. And I don't even know if you can drive because, oh yeah, you killed a guy. People forget that about Chris Albert. Like, he killed someone. Like, driving, was he drunk? I don't even know if he was drunk when he drove. Didn't he leave the scene? He left the scene. Some dude died. I don't even know how long he went to jail for, but he's out.
So I know nothing of the context here. I don't know who this person is, but what he's making accusations. It sounds like opinion, but he's not being charged with, like, he's not being sued for defamation or anything. This is witness intimidation. And I wanted to pull up Murph's membership gifts again, because I don't know if I had a proper opportunity to thank you very much, though, for the 5 gifted memberships. And then, hang on, I wanted to go to the 24-minute mark. I don't know why I did, but I wrote that down. So let's go here.
Well, he's talking about Chris Albert, right?
Day by day.
Yeah, Chris Albert.
Chris Albert is the brother of Brian Albert, whose house the murder happened at.
Okay. Was Chris there?
It was Colin. Colin was there, which is his son. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Chris wasn't there. So Chris isn't a witness.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I don't believe Chris was there, but Colin, his son, was. That because that's the whole allegation.
Okay.
Day, so many people in your town are looking at you, Chris, every day. When you go out in public and you go to the grocery store or wherever, people are taking pictures of you. I got a picture of you, Chris, and your wife Julie, because I know you're watching, Chris. It's about a week or so ago. You went to Twin River Casino, didn't you? I got pictures of you at Twin River Casino. I got pictures of Jen McCabe in Aruba. You can't leave the fucking country with, like, Turtle Riders. We're gonna find you. They're gonna find you. You can't hide.
So I'm not looking at the context here because I haven't watched all of his streams. There's so many of them in every second. So I will say this: if the context is we're trying to track you down so we can ask you questions, why do you keep dodging us? Then I see nothing wrong with it. If it's just blanket, hey, we're going to harass you because we know you're liars, then it becomes a problem, a legal problem.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that.
Exactly.
So I don't know the context here, but most of the stuff he's being accused of that I see, it's other people doing stuff and he's commenting on it. And so I think why I put down the 24-minute mark is because there's another video taken by somebody else that he's commenting on.
Hide anymore. Your life, your private life is officially over. Over. You leave your house, you're going to have your picture taken everywhere. So you need to get used to your new normal. This is your new normal. Any Turtle Rider sees you in public, they're going to do this. They're going to take pictures of you. They're going to send it to me. You're famous. Everyone knows what you did. And so this is a great reminder to Chris Alberts of the world, because I'm sure he's not used to people challenging him like this. And he's freaking out. We need to accelerate it. I'm not telling you what to do.
See,
But
now it's back
Deanna
and
did a
forth. It's
fantastic
back and
job
forth.
with this.
Like, listen, if I'm using this Turtleboy as an example right now, Turtleboy, you got to stop saying this stuff, man, because it's going to get you into some trouble, right? If I'm saying that, it's different than if I'm saying everybody that's, you know, a streamer and that's listening right now, maybe stay away from this kind of activity because you could get into some legal trouble. See how that's different? So, but he's doing both. And again, I don't really have the context. So this, if he's constantly just encouraging people to literally harass, it might be over the line. He loves straddling that line. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he
He
does.
does, and it sounds like it because I've watched a fair amount of his stuff in preparation for this, mainly the videos that were identified. But let's see. There's an insinuation. Yeah. So there is. You could definitely kind of sense that, especially with this particular part. And if you're pulling up enough of people's posts where other people are tracking it down, and he calls them turtle riders, his followers, like my harem, he calls them turtle riders. So if he's encouraging his turtle riders to do this sort of stuff and send it to him, that could be a problem because you can be charged with doing something yourself or employing agents.
It's a fantastic job.
But
I'm a loser.
You're a
You're a
lo-
loser.
That's his.
So this is Justin for John O'Keefe and Karen Reed. Diane posted this video. Apparently she was on this guy's property and taking videos and pictures and posted it to a Facebook page. And now he's playing it. So did he encourage this? I don't know. What is the what Turtleboy and Turtles? What? What is it? What Turtleboy and so his name? He goes by Turtleboy, and his followers are Turtle Riders. Apparently, that's what he says. So we ride. Okay, and I'm fine if you guys are watching this right now, either live or on repeat, and you are a Turtle Rider. I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just trying to analyze this. What we do, you might be new, obviously, to this channel. What we do is we try to break this down from a legal standpoint as much as we can. We also come here with the fundamental assumption that every defendant is innocent unless the state bends over backwards to prove their guilt. So that's the positions that I start with, and Jamie probably too to some extent. And so we're just trying to look at this and say, I have a healthy distrust of the government. And so when the prosecutor says, this guy's doing this, I'm like, well, let me see exactly what the video actually has to say. So that's what we're doing. Yes. And Wendy H., welcome. Haven't seen you in a bit.
hey,
With our
Wendy.
5-month member chat, please like and subscribe. Yes. I'm going to be covering Turtleboy quite a bit. I've actually reached out to him to see if he wants to have a little chat. But if not, no big deal. I'm going to keep going with my analysis and breakdown. And I only have like another 30 minutes left today. So there's going to be more streams on this. And hopefully I get it edited because what I wanted to do is capture these and just have it in one long video. So all I had to do was pause. I just didn't get a chance to do that yet. But that's going to be what happens probably the next stream.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who this person is other than she was on the property and took this
Not telling you
video
what to do.
and he's talking about it.
But Deanna did a fantastic job with this. Fantastic job.
I'm a loser.
You're a
You're a
lo-
loser.
that's his-
You're arguing with a woman in a parking lot. I'm going to my car.
This isn't your car.
The car next to you is my car. So yeah, pull me over all day long. I don't give a fuck. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, that one there.
So there he is getting it. So he can't drive. Someone's got to drive. Somebody else drove him and like Chris getting in the car. Of course he can't drive. Does he even have a license? Picture this conversation on the way home. Fucking Turtleboy. You know this guy would kill me in a heartbeat. Like he's just so mad about this. Like
Okay. So that's kind of the end of that particular segment. And let's go back to the prosecutor's comments. Crime Spies, we actually just discussed if jurors fully understand reasonable doubt. I don't think they do these days. And that's one of the biggest issues that I have, not only with our system, but it's a societal issue. Is my fundamental problem with this. Is I think there's an issue with society in that, there's a great voir dire question when you're looking for prospective jurors as an attorney. You walk up and you say, all right, how many people walked in here and thought, well, what did my client just do as a defense counsel? And because a lot of people think that, what did he do? What did he do? As opposed to what is he accused of doing? Right? There's a big difference in that.
Oh yeah.
So
High Crime Spies, I want to say I found her she's been hanging out with Mo and Sal, and I brought her over here.
awesome.
Watch
Thank you. I subscribed to her a few days ago.
Did you?
And
Hey.
yeah. So welcome, Crime Spies. And we've been chatting a little bit in some other streams as well. And Wendy H with the 1999 super chat. Welcome, everyone. Thank you very much. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna have time to get to the statute today. I do have the statute. It's way too broad. I do agree with that. Specifically, I'm gonna read this section of it. As I pulled this down the other day. So the statute says, whoever willfully, either directly or indirectly, threatens or attempts to cause physical, emotional, or economic injury or property damage to, convey a gift to, mislead, or harass a witness or a potential witness, a person who is aware of this information, records, documents, judge, jury, grand jury, attorney, with the intent to or with reckless disregard of the fact that it may impede, obstruct, delay, prevent, or otherwise interfere with a criminal investigation or trial. So it's the intent or with reckless disregard. I don't like the reckless disregard because if I stream now Turtleboy streams that's talking about this and I show phone numbers and witnesses' names, am I now acting with reckless disregard for the impact that it might have on a prospective witness? I don't think so. I have a big problem with this statute. Or in theory, I could be under the statutes, depending on how it's interpreted. So I have a huge problem with that. It's a horrible statute.
You guys literally got away with murder. Takes out of the 8-minute mark. While discussing the video of Chris Albert being confronted outside of a Canton restaurant, we, hearing in his audience, are getting to them. Chris Albert, meaning Chris Albert and other witnesses. When you act this way, that's like a green light for me. Time to hit the gas. I got pictures.
That was the part we just
you
watched.
Can't leave the fucking country, Turtle Riders. We're going to find you. They're going to find you. You can't hide anymore. Your private life is officially over. You leave your house, you're going to have your picture taken. So you need to get used to the new normal, your new normal.
See, I took his statements in his stream. Like, you could take them either way. Are they threatening or are they warning? Or are they a little of both and a little condescending? I love the condescending part of it, which I'm all about. But is it like tongue in cheek? Hey man, you guys screwed up. Everyone's looking at you. You might want to leave the country. I don't know. It could go either way. The way this prosecutor is reading this off so dry and toned and out of context, it sounds as if it's threatening, direct threatening, right? So that's another reason why I have a problem with this statute. Absolutely. Because reckless disregard of is so broad that he could be convicted of this.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if you read it in the context that I just provided. But it does sound much worse with the prosecutor's
same way, in kind of like a celebrity sense, where it's like your life is going to change now that your name's out there. Like, it didn't seem threatening to me. It just seemed kind of condescending. Like, listen, people are gonna be in your face.
Well, like I was in Meme Copium's chat the other day when he was talking about a Canadian YouTuber whose wife is missing, and he's saying all this stuff on YouTube. I'm like, man, you just, the number one rule is you don't talk to anyone about anything ever. Why are you talking, man? This is all making it bad for you. You're going to go down because you're talking. Even if your story is 100% true, you're talking too much. You're going to go down. Now, am I threatening him? Or am I commenting on the stupidity that is this guy's, YouTube comments about his missing wife?
Yeah.
Pro Rider's going to take pictures of you, and they're going to send it to me. You're famous. We need to accelerate it. They, the woman who recorded the video of Chris Albert confrontation, are doing a fantastic job with this. Stated that at the 24-minute mark. In episode 604, entitled Colin Albert Drops Out of School, Brian Higgins Flipping, is the end near. I said from the beginning, I don't want this to go to trial. That is this defendant's words himself. I don't want this to go to trial, referencing the Karen Reed case.
Now, I will say this prosecutor doesn't give a timestamp, so I was unable to locate that because it's like a 3-hour video. So I have a task for Jamie.
What? Oh gosh.
Episode 604. Can you find that segment for our next stream?
604.
Episode 604. It's a 3-hour stream, and he says, "I don't want this case to go to trial." That's the specific quote from it, but the prosecutor doesn't give a timestamp, and I don't have the documents just yet to see if the timestamp is in the written documents.
I feel like I
John
watched
Lewis,
one too.
figured at the 24-minute mark. In episode 604, entitled Colin Albert Drops Out of School, Brian Higgins Flipping, is the end near. I said from the beginning, I don't want this to go to trial. That is this defendant's words himself.
I don't want this to go to trial. So that's apparently in episode 604, but we don't get a timestamp from it. I think they believe that he is working with and communicating with Karen Reed defensive team, possibly being paid. So it would be the internet. Maybe. I mean, I don't know if her team is under a gag order or not. I can't remember. I haven't been following the case much. I'm more concerned with Turtleboy than her case. I know Baker is covering this. Or you guys have been talking about it. Is Baker covering it?
Yeah.
And for everyone who's just joining us, Baker was the Dane that was just on. He's got a YouTube channel that you all need to be checking out too, especially if you like this case, because he's been covering it. But obviously, if they're under a gag order, then they can't say anything, nor can they employ somebody to say something. So if there's money being paid, that's a problem. I think what they're trying to do is they don't like his messages, and they're trying to kind of quell him a bit. And from what I understand, they took 6 phones and a couple of laptops and a bunch of other equipment.
Yeah.
And so if there is any sort of transaction going on or communication going on, they know about it now. And that could be a problem for the defense team too. It would be really dumb for the defense team to do this. Like when I had my lawsuit against the governor of the state of Michigan a number of years ago, I didn't have to ask anybody to do anything. There were people already championing it and throwing it out there. I'm like, okay, whatever. People can talk. And I had zero communication with them whatsoever. And it's probably something similar. Let's see. The phone numbers aren't considered public. Let's see. They want him shut up. Oh, I absolutely believe that they do. Absolutely. Somebody said something about the phone numbers. The phone numbers aren't considered public record. Well, the phone numbers are in a public document. So that kind of makes them
I was going to ask you about that. For the fact that he was able to get that document and it's public, showing that, is that a problem?
I'm getting to that, Sean. Hey, if you want a link, come on in, man. Although I'm only going for like another 20 minutes. I'm going to do another video on this. And I don't think I'm going to get to this issue because this comes up later. I do agree with you 100% that communicating with a dispatcher to illegally search license plates is a problem. But I think that's a violation of a different law, right? This is witness intimidation. So I think that's a weaker argument for witness intimidation. Maybe the conspiracy aspect of witness intimidation, because he is charged with 1 count of conspiracy, and it might be with this unindicted dispatcher. But yes, absolutely. And then doxing the phone numbers, the reason why I don't have a problem with that necessarily is because these are work numbers. At least the videos that I've watched, he's calling their government-issued work cell phones that they use in the course of their employment. So that's why I don't necessarily think I have a problem with that either. But again, I haven't watched everything yet. This is just the start of the deep dive. But Sean, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. And I will send you a link right now if you can pop on for like 20 minutes, because I'd love to hear your thoughts on this.
Me too.
I just got to pull up my Twitters.
Oh,
link me up. Here, he's already sent me a thing. All right. There you go. I sent it. Yeah, come on in, Sean.
Yeah, I want to hear you two talk about this.
I'm not deciding one way or the other. I'm just saying when he says this particular defendant went to a sporting event Hey, Sean. Can you hear me? You're still getting your. Can't hear you yet.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Hey, yeah. So I don't know how much you saw, and I agree with you wholeheartedly that the whole illegal gathering of the plate numbers and addresses and names and things like that, that's a problem.
I just think it goes to intent. Like the idea, like because your intent can be inferred from your actions.
True.
So yes, the phone numbers are public, but running out there, blaring out and putting them out there because you want people to contact people, and I get like you're being a reporter because you're following people, you're talking to them. But from what I understand, this is not just like he confronts them once, he confronts them multiple times. It's, you also have to be careful. Turtleboy is part of the Kate Peters masshole troll mafia, Chili DeCastro retard spectrum of the internet. Like he's not like, I'm just saying, like he could be doing God's work here. He could be doing God's work here, but you also have to be careful about who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And that's just, because people are like, oh, he's a reporter. It's like, do you know what he's been involved with before? Like he's been involved with some absolute shit shows on the internet, which doesn't mean he can't do things productive, but this isn't the Netflix movie where he's just the young strapping reporter beating it out on the streets, and this is like the Maltese Falcon or something.
Again, I don't know anything about him. The first time I ever heard of him was on Wednesday. I'm like, let me just start looking into this guy. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I'm just saying he's from a very, like, he runs in a circle of the internet. That doesn't mean he doesn't do bad things. But I'm just saying this is not.
Some of his stuff is definitely questionable, and that's kind of what I was wrapping up to. I'm like, but I also wanted to point out that both sides are playing a game here. When the prosecutor says, when the prosecutor says this guy is going to sporting events and taking pictures of these people, and the only thing I see is a picture from somebody else taking a selfie, and those people happen to be in the background. It's not him doing it, right? Hey, Salvador. So anyway, so that was my thought.
Mm-hmm.
Please be respectful of Dave's guests. Oh, I don't care what the chat does. I don't think Sean.
I don't care. You're not gonna hurt my feelings out there.
Yeah, I don't care either.
No, you won't hurt.
You guys have your opinions. Our chat is a free speech zone.
Yeah.
No, I like later. That's okay.
There's no personal attacks. That's all I say. But anyways, so
I will just say they're not in a group together, but they come from the same like pond in the internet. They come from the same ecosystem. Yes, they are not. Well, Kate Peters and Turtleboy were friends for quite a while, but they're all part of this disgusting, weird mess that's in the Boston, Massachusetts area. So that's all I'm trying to point out, that you have to be careful about what you're looking at. And also, what is the point of him putting the phone numbers out there? What is the point of him trying to get all this stuff done?
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And that's what we were talking about. I don't know how much you were listening, but we were talking about, especially when we talked about the one woman who confronted, what's his name, Jimmy, whose brother was at the house, whose brother owned the house.
Yeah. When he was talking about Chris Albert.
Yeah. He was at a restaurant and some other lady filmed him outside of a restaurant and they were yelling at each other. And he put it up there. And I said, but is he encouraging this by publishing it? Even if he's not directly asking for it, because he's like, I didn't ask anybody to do this. They just did this video and put it up there and it's all great. And I'm going to play it now. Is by his actions, is he encouraging it? What do you think, Sean? Do you think that's enough? Oh, you're muted again.
It's not enough, but once again, like I said, this is just, if you're trying to avoid getting heat from the government, there's smart ways you can do this. Being a confrontational asswipe is going to give them an excuse to come after you. Like he could do it better. And I'm sure there's ways he could do this where I'd say, oh yeah, you know what? He's just doing his thing. I'm holding off just because it's the, I guess, we have to be careful. Life is not a Netflix movie. Is there always some sort of grand conspiracy where, the police are in on and this will lead all the way to the governor's mansion? Well, the governor's mansion part with the corruption season 2 of the Netflix show. I get worried when people act like they're part of a Netflix series.
Yeah.
They're covering the corruption. It's like, are you?
That's
really?
why I always say I have a healthy skepticism of the government, but it doesn't mean that the government's always wrong. And that's just why, kind of why I wanted to pare this down. Because
generally they are wrong, but
Yeah,
generally,
just 99% of the time.
yes.
But even this special prosecutor, I was listening to what he said, and on Baker's stream, and I was like, that's interesting. I'm going to start writing down these videos and start looking at them myself and see if that's exactly what happened. And the very first one off the bat, it wasn't at all what he said. There was a lot of missing words, not even just like context, not even what was said before and what was said after, but words missing in the middle. And I'm like, that's a little shady, Mr. Prosecutor. So that's what started me down this road. I kind of wanted to compare to what this guy was saying and what was actually said on those streams in that timestamp to see if it made sense, if it lined up, or if the state's exaggerating. I'm obviously I haven't watched any of Turtleboy's streams outside of this very narrow context, so I know nothing else about him. And this isn't to criticize Turtleboy or anyone else on either side. I'm just looking at this from the prospect of, is this prosecutor, what he's saying, true?
Well,
and I will say that some of the stuff. Well, here, let me pull this up.
Well, the one thing I will say, this prosecutor is a boomer, so I agree. They don't understand the internet. They don't understand a lot of things. So I'm surprised he did as well as he did, trying to articulate things in this.
There's this thing called YouTube's, Judge, and on this YouTubers, it was this kind of thing. But
that's exactly. And they do what's called streaming,
and it's www.
Wait, HTTP.
Oh, HTTP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like I said, that's part of this issue is just the government is not generally tech savvy. Yeah. So
and so this is a problem. This particular post is a problem. This is on his Facebook or his Twitter. I can't remember where I grabbed this from. No, this looks like Facebook. So at 6 p.m., Jeep was seen parked outside of Proctor's household. We ran the plates on all 3 cars, and they were registered to Michael, Elizabeth, and Matt. That's a problem, because how are you getting that information?
Yeah.
Presumably, it sounds like, and I don't know Massachusetts law, it sounds like
that's Leeds database information. You can't. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a dispatcher is in trouble for running all that stuff, and you get in trouble for doing that.
Now, but in the state of Michigan, from what I understand, anyways, because I always hire PIs that are licensed through the state of Michigan to, if I wanted to do a reverse license plate lookup and stuff like that. So apparently there is a way for a PI to have access to this. And if it's done for legitimate purposes, we have no problem doing it. We have people, do skip tracing on individuals all the time through our private investigators. I don't know if it's the same system that the state police use in Michigan. I have no idea, but presumably you can look up this information. But I can't go to a police officer and say, hey, I'm just curious to see whose car this is. Can you track them down? That would be a problem in Michigan.
Yeah. So
if he's doing that, that's a problem. Now, I feel like that would be a different crime. It wouldn't be witness intimidation, but like Sean said, it's like it goes to
why
his
are you
intent.
doing it?
Yeah, why are you doing it? Yeah. And the post just before that was actually him asking if somebody can do that, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, that is a degree of separation.
Anyone in Canton want to take... Oh, no, this is anyone in Canton want to take a couple of pictures, time sensitive, happening now, DM me, please. And then there was a follow-up that says, all set, thanks. And then he posted those pictures. So it's obvious he got word that there were some vehicles parked outside the house. They got the photos, and then through whatever means, according to the state, he used a dispatcher to look up those numbers and identify the individuals. That is a problem. What is Sean working on?
He's cleaning his fingernails.
No.
I was going to say, he's painting. Are you painting a model, right?
No, I'm building a model.
Building
okay.
Model. Okay.
Yeah.
As much like I... So, all right. Let's... Not as good? I used to love making models as a kid. I miss doing it. It's just like I don't have time for
Speaking of
anything.
models, this is very macabre, but I'm going to share it privately because this is just too hilarious.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll check that out. But all right, we'll keep going. I've only got like another 10 minutes and then I've got to get downtown and over to Canada. Canada, I'm coming for you today.
Jesus, Dave.
I'm gonna come to Canada.
You're going to come, eh?
Yeah.
Do you want me to pull this up?
Yeah, it makes fun of the current situation, but it's you can use it insert anywhere. I've seen it before with Haiti in the title, but
oh, that's
after
awesome.
the earthquakes, yeah,
that's awesome.
It's sad, but you gotta laugh at something.
That's right. That's what we do as attorneys. We rise above and we find the fun in all of this. Oh, yes. All right, let's see if we can't get any further along before we got to before I got to cut and run to Canada.
Dodging the draft.
Case. On September 15, 2023, Candy posted a blog entitled Canton Cover-Up, Part 142. Free Karen Reed. Billboard goes up on Route 1 outside Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. More to follow on his website. The topic of the blog post was about a billboard that read, Free Karen Reed, with a picture of Karen Reed. Kearney praised the organizers of the billboard. In the post, Kearney wrote, thank you to everyone who donated as well. Although millions of people know about the injustice that is happening in Norfolk County, I would bet that over half the population of Norfolk County has never heard of Karen Reed before. That will change because of this three-pronged billboard blitz. It's really time for people in Norfolk County to know about this story because that is where the jury pool will be chosen from.
Okay. Let's assume those are his words, right? It's important for people to know about this story. Thank you for the people who put up the billboard. And that's where the jury is going to be selected from. This is the billboard, by the way. There's no allegation that he put it up.
Even if he did, that's not illegal.
No.
That's not jury intimidation. There's nothing wrong with that.
So that's kind of what I wanted to point out with this stream. There are some things that he did that's bad, but this was clearly like he didn't have anything to do with it. He praised the people who did it, and he was saying, this is great. We need to spread the words, right?
Yeah.
How is this witness intimidation?
Yeah. It's not jury tampering. There's nothing illegal about that.
Yeah, that was my thought.
Then the people protesting outside Rittenhouse would have done something illegal. I mean, the jury could even hear them.
Yeah.
Well, they pretty much were intimidating that jury.
Yeah.
Yes, they were.
So to be fair.
Well, when you have a congresswoman literally intimidating the jury by saying, if they don't convict, we're going to riot or whatever.
Yeah.
But no charges were brought against her because her story fit the narrative.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyways, that's actually about as far as I'm going to be able to get today, guys, because I do have to get to Canada.
I'm going to go set up my stream.
Oh, yeah. Salvador, I'm going to redirect everybody over to you.
Okay.
With your stream on what's his name? God,
Mark Jensen.
Mark Jensen. Jesus. Yes. Mark Jensen. So cool. Thanks, Salvador, for jumping on, and we'll see you guys over there.
See you.
Clarify that by bad, you are speaking by legal definition, making it simple. Yes. When I say bad, I mean like legally bad. Like you can get legally in trouble, criminally charged for something. That's kind of what I say.
And if things don't look good, that
could also be bad too.
Yeah, that's the issue because I've said it before, and I think you'd agree, David. When you're trying a case, it's about sales. You're telling a story and a narrative, and with question with kind of like facts are in the gray zone, but you look like a complete scumbag. The jury has to look at somebody like, who's the bad guy here? And if they see you doing a lot of sketchy stuff, they're like, oh, well, you're the bad guy. And they'll hit you. So,
there's always got to be a bad guy for the jury. I always say that there's got to be a bad guy for the jury. And whether it's, you want to plead insanity, right? There's no bad actor then. The bad actor is the mental insanity, right? There's always got to be an enemy for the jury to grab onto.
Yes.
And if you make yourself out to be the bad actor, the bad guy, the enemy, it's kind of bad for you. Yeah. But things like this, that's just not illegal. Even for him to put it up, I don't think would be.
He could have paid for it.
Yeah, he could have paid for it.
That's not illegal at all.
Yeah, I don't think so at all. Just because the jury pool. But, when you first came in, you said it's his intent. Could that be shown?
Mm-hmm. Well,
let's assume his words are right, and let's assume he paid for this. Could that be shown as intent to intimidate the jury?
Not that alone, no.
Oh. Okay.
But it's, you can make an argument the totality of your actions, But even then, I think that would probably be able. You could get that kicked out on a motion of limine because that is completely protected activity.
Yeah.
And the other stuff would be if there's activity, the other stuff that's illegal should be enough to get it.
Yeah, and I'm just assuming. I mean,
We
'cause
were
the
just speculating that for argument's sake.
Yeah, just for argument's sake. I mean, the prosecution made no allegation that he paid for it. He just sort of
Yeah.
championed the idea of it.
But
even if he was to pay for it,
Mhm.
I don't think it would be illegal.
Yeah, and somebody was asking, like, do investigators show up at homes of witnesses and suspects? Yeah, they will. Like, they will go meet and do interviews there. They don't just haul everybody to the police station.
Right.
And
What's
then,
interesting is the statute carves out a big exception for investigators. I just want to say that investigators can do all this stuff.
Yes.
If you're a state actor.
Yeah, this entire case is suspect, but it's part of the issue is because there was in my area there was an issue that was going on where somebody started to they think they were true criming it, and literally all they were doing was beginning to obstruct an investigation because it's well, I think this happened, and they were pounding this issue to the point where they were attacking and harassing an innocent person, and that innocent person hired great, you get your truth sleuthing it, but are you sure you're not fucking things up? And I understand we like to think there's all kinds of government corruption everywhere, but is it really always the case?
Right. Is it always the case that there's government corruption? I mean, my default is always government ineptitude.
Yes, or the malfeasance. I guess I'm just not the person I'm expecting to crack the case is not a guy named Turtleboy.
I will say too, I was going to play another part of it, and I'll probably clip it and do another part. He actually he's like, I filed an affidavit and this and that. Does that make me a witness? Well, maybe I might be a witness in this
You're making
case.
Statements under oath,
right? And
so it's now you're jerking everything around.
He definitely is throwing himself in the mix fairly deep. Is it going beyond what you would traditionally see with mainstream media? Yes. The question is did it cross the line into witness intimidation? I kind of always want to preface this with too, is that they are state actors at the end of the day as well.
Yes.
So it's just very interesting. It's a very interesting case.
Mm-hmm.
But Sean, you have anything to grift? By the way, can one of my mods throw a link to Sean's chat in the or link to Sean's channel?
You don't want to come to my Discord. No, don't do that.
Not his Discord. Just go to his channel. Oh,
well,
Wendy
you can if
did.
you want to, but that's at your own risk.
Yeah, don't go to his Discord. Just go to his YouTube channel. He's in Ohio. We don't hold it against him. But
I like Michigan, to be fair.
Do you?
I've always been a Michigan fan.
You're Cleveland, right?
Yeah, I've always been a Michigan fan. So when I lived in Toledo, it was nice because it was like,
oh yeah, you're right there at the border.
Well, they also had a Wolverine and Buckeye shop. It was, you could get Michigan stuff. And then for 2 years, I worked as a prosecutor down by Dayton, and oh my God, it was just Ohio State stuff everywhere all the time. It was just.
I have some connections in Dayton, and every time I go down there, it's Ohio State everything.
Yes,
but there it is. Okay. Wendy H put it in there. Thank you very much, Wendy H. So you guys should all go check out Potentially Criminal's channel. And Jamie doesn't have a channel. She's kind of like a leech. She just a parasite. She just sort of sucks on everyone else's.
She's the Remora.
Yes.
Eating the bugs off your belly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just who's on next?
Hi, Jamie.
Yeah, she's gonna go. You guys will go see her in cell in just a few minutes. I'm gonna send you guys over there. But thank you very much for joining me, Jamie and Sean, as always. If you're interested in that, I'm gonna try to do some more streams on this because I really want to do more in-depth breakdown. But I'm kind of getting interested in this whole case here because there is I don't know. It's I guess because I know the people who are one of the people involved in this, I know who Turtleboy is. It's what is, where's this go? How does this end? Yeah, I'm very curious in this. And then and then here's the big thing. Let's say this all turns out to be bullshit. Let's say he's completely fucking wrong. And you went and you did all this stuff and you went and that's the other thing though. If you're trying to convince people oh, I wasn't trying to intimidate, and it turns out you were completely fucking wrong. It's
you know, I mean, like, are you gonna make the claim? Sorry, I'm just a big fucking idiot defense, which you can make, but then you got to admit to the world you're a big fucking idiot. Which,
And Jamie is the star of every stream.
Yeah.
Yes, she is. All right, thank you guys. Everyone have a good time over at Salvador's. I'm on my way to Canada, and we'll see y'all later. Take care.
have fun.
Oh my God, Jamie, don't do that.
What?
Nothing. We can just hear you. Say hi. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Oh my God, David, I didn't know it was that big. Jesus.
Why'd you?